Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to video 2 for lesson 1.4, our final lesson of the unit 1 on equations. And in this one, you see, it says we're going to start off by rewriting a formula. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. A formula like the area of a rectangle, area equals base times height. Well, isn't that a literal equation? Does it have two or more different variables? That's right, it does. So when we solve, again, we're going to solve doing all the same things we've done before. It doesn't matter that there's no numbers in there. You just do the same exact process and procedure, isolating, keep it balanced, and all those things that we have learned. So ladies and gentlemen, it says take the area of the rectangle, area equals base times height, and solve for b. So when I have area equals base times height, I want to solve for b, so I want the equation to say b equals. So I look at b. What's happening with b? It's being multiplied by h. So what's the inverse? What's the opposite? So if I want to isolate b, what do I divide out? That's right, I divide h. How do I keep the equation balanced? I divide both sides by h. So now I have the area divided by h is equal to b. So b equals the area divided by h, right? The base is equal to the area divided by the height. Go ahead and copy all that down, pause the video, and then join us for example number 8. In example 8, we have this formula called the interest is equal to PRT. Interest equals principal rate time. I like to call it I party, and we're going to get to that. Well, you already had that in 7th grade, actually. But it is the interest formula, so you should be familiar with it. And it's asking us to solve for P. So I equals PRT. We want to solve for P. We want it to say P equals. So what is happening? We're multiplying P by R, and we're multiplying it by T. So the inverse of multiplying by RT is to divide by RT. And of course, that isolates P, but to keep it balanced, we got to divide both sides by RT. So right here, those simplify out. P's left on that side, and that's leaving us with the interest divided by the rate and the time on the initial time. So principal is equal to the interest divided by the rate and the time. You're just rewriting in a literal equation, solving it using exact same process that we've always done with all of our numbers before. Ladies and gentlemen, pause the video, write it all down. Join me for example number 9. Surface area of a cylinder, that formula is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh, and I know you've used this before in 7th grade. We're going to solve for h. We're going to solve for this one right here. We wanted to say h equals. So we're going to take our surface area equal 2 pi times the radius squared plus 2 times pi times the radius times the height. And so the first thing we're going to do, since we're adding, we can get rid of this entire term right here. 2 pi r squared. That is one term. Terms are connected with multiplication and division. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction. So what are we going to do? We're going to subtract. Since this is a positive, we're going to subtract 2 pi r squared from both sides. So we're left with s minus 2 pi r squared is equal to 2 pi rh. Well, right now we're multiplying our height by 2 pi times the radius. So we're going to do the inverse of that, and we're going to divide that out. 2 pi times the radius. We can take it all out at one time because the 2 goes away, the pi goes away, the r goes away. Of course, that isolates h, but we need to make sure we keep it balanced by doing it to both sides. We come over here at the entire expression, okay? Or each one, we can do them all or we can do them both. So I can do 2 pi r here and 2 pi r there. Either way, I can't simplify anything, so I might as well just divide the whole thing. So I'm going to say s is equal to, or excuse me, the height is equal to s minus 2 pi r squared divided by 2 pi r, and then we're done. I almost wrote too much. So that is what the height is equal to. The height is equal to s minus 2 pi r squared divided by 2 pi rh. I know it gets kind of crazy because there's a whole lot of variables going on in there, but either way, I could separate it like I did in the first way. Ladies and gentlemen, pause it, write it all down, and join us in example number 10. So example number 10, we're going to use it's real life stuff, converting the degrees Fahrenheit formula from Celsius formula. So we're going to take the Celsius. Celsius is equal to 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32. Well, we want to find what Fahrenheit is equal to. So what are we going to do? We're going to solve for S. How do we do that? Inverse operations. Okay? That's how we isolate the variable. We can either distribute, or here's one of those times, ladies and gentlemen, where I don't want to distribute the 5/9. I simply want to divide out the factor. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 5/9. Both sides, 5/9. So C divided by 5/9. Remember, we don't like to divide. We want to make it multiplication. So when you change that, it becomes C times the reciprocal 9/5. So that ends up with actually 9/5 C is equal to, well, the 5/9 on that side went away, so we're left with F minus 32. Well, what is the inverse to isolate F? What's the inverse of subtracting 32? That's right, adding 32. And what we're going to do? We're going to add it to both sides. So we know that Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 of the Celsius plus 32. That's how we solve for Fahrenheit. Pretty straightforward. Go ahead and pause the video, write it all down. We're going to have one last example before we do our quick write and done tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, a real life application of the Fahrenheit formula in which is greater, 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius? Well, we just said that Fahrenheit, whoops, too many little numbers there. Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 of the Celsius plus 32. So we're going to take 200 degrees Celsius, we're going to plug it in, and we're going to do the math to see what is 200 degrees Celsius equal to in Fahrenheit. So we have 9/5 times 200 plus 32. Well, 5 simplifies with 200, and that's going to be 40. So this is 9 times 40 plus 32. 9 times 40 is 360 plus 32. Fahrenheit is equal to 392 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? That's what the Fahrenheit is equal to. Well, 400 degrees Fahrenheit is greater than 392 degrees Fahrenheit. So, 400 degrees Fahrenheit is greater than 200 degrees Celsius. So which one's greater? 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and pause it, write it all down, and then quickly copy down your quick write, converting to 112 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit for the last one, and solving the literal equation for the surface area of a cone for the lateral height L. Don't worry, we got plenty of time. We'll go over it all in class anytime you got any questions about it. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Attitude and effort, ladies and gentlemen. Attitude and effort. Believe in yourself with some confidence. You guys rock. Thank you for your time, and let's move forward.